Casey Dutton is back, but not as the man we once knew. This time, he's stepping out from the shadows of the Yellowstone ranch and into a world where every decision could mean life or death. And the craziest part, what's coming next could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Dutton legacy. For years, Casey Dutton has been the quiet force in the Yellowstone universe, always caught between his role as a loyal son and his desire to live life on his own terms. We've seen him survive shootouts, family feuds, and political warfare, but in this new chapter, that tug of war inside him finally snaps. He's no longer a ranch hand or just another Dutton heir fighting for land and name. In Why Marshals, Casey takes on a role that puts him at the center of a completely different battlefield, one that demands every ounce of his skill, discipline, and instinct. This is the Casey we've only glimpsed before. The soldier, the tactician, the man trained to deal with threats most people will never face. Now, instead of protecting cattle and fences, he's safeguarding lives. And the stakes are far higher. The official premise makes it clear. He's joined an elite team of U.S. Marshals, bringing his cowboy grit and Navy SEAL precision to Montana's war on violence. That's right. The man who once fought to keep his family safe is now responsible for protecting an entire region. And here's what makes this so fascinating. Casey has always been the most morally conflicted member of the Dutton family. He's not like Rip, who thrives in the chaos, or Beth, who turns every battle into a personal vendetta. Casey struggles. He questions. He feels the weight of his actions. That emotional depth, the push and pull between justice and survival, is exactly what sets him apart in this new role. And if you know anything about Taylor Sheridan's style, you can already imagine how much tension this will create. But the twist isn't just Casey's career change. It's what it means for Yellowstone's future. This isn't a side quest. It's a storyline that could connect directly back to the unresolved threads from the main series. We already know Monica and Tate will remain a part of his life, which means family drama isn't going anywhere. And if the rumors are true about his first mission being tied to John Dutton's fate, then this series might just deliver the revenge arc fans have been waiting for since the Season 5 finale. It's rare to see a spin-off that doesn't feel like a watered-down copy of the original, but Why Marshals is shaping up to be exactly that, a bold, high-stakes expansion of the Yellowstone world. And the fact that CBS gave it a 13-episode order right out of the gate tells us one thing. They know they've got something special. This is no longer about the ranch. It's about the man Casey becomes when there's nothing left to hide behind. No barn, no family name, no safety net. And if history has taught us anything, it's that when Casey is pushed into a corner, he doesn't just fight back, he changes the game entirely. Every great story needs more than just a strong lead. It needs a foil, a mirror, someone who can bring out sides of the character we've never seen before. And in Why Marshals, that person is Pete Calvin, played by the incredibly intense Logan Marshall Green. Now, this casting isn't just exciting, it's telling. Pete isn't some random lawman, he's a ghost from Casey's military past. And if you've been paying attention to Yellowstone over the years, you know Casey's time in the Navy SEALs is a part of his life that has always been kept in the shadows. Here's why this is huge. Pete Calvin isn't coming in as a stranger. Casey has to learn to trust. These two already have a history, and not the easy kind. They've fought alongside each other, survived situations no one else could understand, and most importantly, they've seen the worst in each other. That kind of shared past doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It festers. It shapes every decision, every moment of tension, every quiet conversation where a single glance can carry more weight than words. But Pete isn't just here to be Casey's old buddy from the battlefield. Logan Marshall Green has a knack for playing characters who live in the gray. Men who are both ally and threat, friend and rival. In Upgrade, he was relentless. In The Invitation, he was unpredictable. In Prometheus, he was unforgettable. That's exactly the energy we can expect here. Pete will understand Casey in a way no one else in this spin-off can, and that's where things get dangerous. Because here's the question. When the lines between justice and vengeance blur, whose side will Pete be on? Is he the kind of man who will pull Casey back from the edge or push him further over it? And more importantly, does Pete know things about Casey's past that even we, the audience, have never been told? In Yellowstone, we only got small hints of the missions, the losses, the scars Casey carried from his military life. Why Marshals could finally pull back that curtain, and Pete Calvin might just be the one holding the rope. This dynamic is what's going to keep viewers hooked beyond the action scenes. Sure, we'll get the shootouts, the tactical takedowns, the tense standoffs, but what's going to make this series unforgettable is the constant question of whether Casey can truly trust the man standing next to him, and whether that man might one day become the person pointing a gun at his back. And let's not forget, Logan Marshall Green's casting marks the first major addition to the Yellowstone world that isn't tied to the ranch or the original cast. That alone signals that Why Marshals is building its own identity, one that could easily expand into an entire branch of the franchise. This isn't just a spin-off, it's a potential launchpad for a whole new corner of the Sheridan universe. Casey Dutton isn't just leaving the Yellowstone Ranch behind, he's stepping into a world that will test him in ways the ranch never could. In Yellowstone, the conflicts were big, sure, but mostly grounded in family, legacy, and land. In Why Marshals, those lines expand. Casey now faces life and death decisions every single day, decisions that don't just affect his family or the Dutton legacy, they affect complete strangers, innocents, and the very fabric of justice in Montana. The official logline calls it range justice, and that's exactly what it feels like. Casey is combining his cowboy instincts with his Navy SEAL training, a rare blend of precision, grit, and instinct. He's not just chasing down bad guys, he's walking into chaotic situations where split-second choices can mean the difference between life and death. And unlike the ranch, where consequences were often emotional or political, here the stakes are brutally tangible. Lives hang in the balance, innocent blood is on the line, and Casey has to carry it all on his shoulders. This series is taking what we already loved about Casey, his moral compass, his loyalty, his quiet resilience, and twisting it into a darker, more action-packed environment. It's one thing to protect family on your own land. It's another thing entirely to carry the law itself into lawless territories, where danger hides behind every hill and in every shadow. And that tension is what's going to make Why Marshals addictive. Every decision Casey makes isn't just a plot point. It's a moral choice that could break him or define him. What makes this even more compelling is the emotional cost. Casey isn't a machine. He's a man who has always carried the weight of duty and honor. Every mission, every firefight, every tense standoff chips away at him. And Taylor Sheridan's storytelling thrives in those spaces. The moments between the bullets, when you see the internal struggle, the doubts, the guilt. These are the moments that make characters real, and they're going to make this series unforgettable. The Montana backdrop remains, but it's not just wide open skies and ranch life anymore. It's tactical operations in rugged terrain, high-speed chases on dirt roads, and firefights that echo the chaos Casey has been trained to handle, but with emotional stakes that are impossible to ignore. Every mission isn't just about defeating the bad guy, it's about protecting others while battling the trauma that comes with taking lives to do so. And here's the twist. Even in this darker world, the Dutton connection isn't gone. Monica and Tate are still there, providing emotional anchors for Casey. That contrast between personal loyalty and professional duty adds another layer of tension. Every time Casey leaves on a mission, he isn't just facing criminals, he's leaving pieces of himself behind, pieces that may never fully return. This is what sets Why Marshals apart from the original series. It's not just another action spin-off, it's an exploration of what it means to carry justice in a world where the rules are constantly shifting. It's about how far a man will go to protect others, and how those actions define him long after the gunfire stops. Casey Dutton's return isn't just about him stepping into a new career, it's about unfinished business. For years, fans have been left wondering about John Dutton's fate, and now, Why Marshals is finally promising closure. The series is teasing that Casey's very first mission may involve going after the company responsible for John's disappearance. That's a storyline we've all been itching to see resolved since Yellowstone's Season 5 finale. The tension isn't just about the physical pursuit, it's about the emotional stakes. Casey isn't just hunting a target, he's carrying the weight of family honor, legacy, and a deeply personal need for justice. This mission sets the tone for the entire series. Casey's role as a U.S. Marshal doesn't let him operate in a vacuum. He must navigate legal boundaries, high-risk operations, and the psychological toll that comes with hunting dangerous criminals. Every decision he makes could have catastrophic consequences, and the show promises to explore those moral dilemmas in detail. The mix of tactical precision and emotional vulnerability is what makes Casey such a compelling protagonist. He's no longer a supporting character in someone else's story. He is the story, and every choice he makes drives the plot forward. What makes this arc even more intriguing is the blending of Casey's past with his present. He is paired with Pete Calvin, played by Logan Marshall Green, a fellow military veteran. Their shared history in the Navy SEALs adds layers of complexity to every mission. These aren't just colleagues, they're frenemy-level partners, capable of intense loyalty, but also deep-seated rivalry. Their interactions will bring tension, humor, and emotional depth, balancing the high-octane action with human drama. Pete's presence also opens the door to exploring the darker aspects of Casey's past, decisions made in combat, sacrifices he had to endure, and the moral compromises he was forced to make. The revenge arc for John Dutton also reinforces Casey's evolution as a character. In Yellowstone, he was often seen as torn between worlds, struggling with the expectations of his family and his own moral code. Now in Y Marshals, he is fully in control of his destiny. He's not bound to the ranch or the family legacy in the same way. Instead, he is navigating a much larger world where the rules are murky and the consequences are immediate and deadly. Every mission related to John's disappearance will challenge Casey physically and mentally, testing his resilience and revealing how far he's willing to go for justice. The series also emphasizes the psychological toll of being a marshal. Casey's missions aren't just about gunfights or tactical maneuvers. They're about confronting trauma, making life-altering decisions under pressure, and dealing with the aftermath of violence. This approach ensures the show isn't just action-packed, it's emotionally gripping, giving viewers a chance to connect deeply with Casey as a character. And while John Dutton's revenge is the catalyst, it's not the only storyline. Every mission is designed to explore themes of loyalty, sacrifice, and justice in a lawless environment. The tension between professional duty and personal morality is woven into each episode, creating a suspenseful, edge-of-your-seat viewing experience. Fans can expect a mix of Montana's traditional landscapes with the grit of high-stakes operations, blending the old Yellowstone aesthetic with an entirely new level of intensity. In short, the first missions set up everything that will define Y Marshals: action, suspense, emotional depth, and the ongoing struggle of a man trying to do what's right while facing impossible odds. For fans of Yellowstone, it's a fresh perspective on a beloved character. For new viewers, it's an introduction to a thrilling, morally complex world where every choice matters. One of the most exciting aspects of Y Marshals is the introduction of Pete Calvin, played by Logan Marshall Green. He's not just a supporting character, he's a foil, a mirror, and sometimes a challenge for Casey Dutton. Pete's military background mirrors Casey's own experiences as a Navy SEAL, which immediately establishes a deep, unspoken bond between them. They've faced extreme situations together, endured the worst the world could throw at them, and survived. That shared history makes their partnership instantly compelling. But it's not just camaraderie, it's complicated, tense, and layered with unspoken grudges and past mistakes. Pete Calvin is the kind of character who brings out both the best and worst in Casey. He's loyal but blunt, intense but occasionally reckless, and he doesn't shy away from challenging Casey's decisions. Their interactions are a constant push and pull, full of friction, subtle rivalry, and moments of genuine connection. Every mission tests their trust in each other and highlights the delicate balance between friendship and professional obligation. For viewers, this dynamic is magnetic. It's a mix of suspense, emotional depth, and unpredictable tension that keeps you hooked. The frenemy dynamic between Casey and Pete also serves as a window into Casey's inner world. In Yellowstone, Casey often struggled with duality, part cowboy, part soldier, torn between duty and personal morality. Pete forces Casey to confront these inner conflicts head-on. Every decision in the field is not just about completing a mission, it's about integrity, accountability, and the consequences of past choices. Pete isn't just a mission partner, he's a reflection of Casey's own struggles, making every interaction charged with psychological tension. Logan Marshall Green's casting adds another layer of anticipation. Known for roles in Upgrade, The Invitation, and Prometheus, Logan has a track record of portraying intense, morally complex characters. Pete Calvin is no exception. He's capable of calm precision one moment and explosive intensity the next. That unpredictability ensures that every scene with Casey feels high stakes, even outside of the firefights and tactical operations. The audience is constantly guessing. Will Pete support Casey's plan, or will his past resentments get in the way? That uncertainty drives suspense throughout the series. Pete's presence also deepens the exploration of Casey's military past. In Yellowstone, his time as a Navy SEAL was mostly a shadowy backdrop, hinted at but never fully explored. In Why Marshals, Pete becomes a living reminder of that past, someone who shares the victories, failures, and moral compromises of combat. Their missions together are infused with history, tension, and the psychological aftermath of the choices they've made. It's this layering that elevates the series beyond a standard action drama. It's about the cost of service, loyalty, and personal redemption. The balance between friendship and rivalry keeps every mission unpredictable. They can save each other's lives one moment and clash over strategy the next. These conflicts aren't just filler, they're essential to building suspense and developing Casey's character. The audience experiences his growth, frustration, and moral dilemmas alongside him. Pete isn't a one-dimensional sidekick. He's a catalyst for narrative tension, forcing Casey to navigate a world that's not just dangerous, but morally complicated. Finally, their dynamic is emotionally resonant because it mirrors real-life relationships forged under pressure. Casey and Pete's partnership shows that loyalty isn't always straightforward. It's messy, challenging, and often painful, but it's also the backbone of survival in the high-stakes world of Why Marshals. Every argument, every shared victory, every mission risk deepens their bond and keeps viewers invested, ensuring that the series isn't just about action, but about human connection under extraordinary circumstances. The world of Why Marshals is nothing like the Yellowstone ranch we've grown familiar with. This is a harsher, darker environment where danger is constant and every decision has immediate consequences. Casey Dutton isn't just navigating family drama anymore, he's stepping into life-or-death situations on a daily basis. With his new role in the elite U.S. Marshals unit, the stakes are higher, the missions are more complex, and the psychological toll is immense. This series isn't afraid to explore that cost. It's not just about shootouts or tactical operations, it's about what it does to the men and women who serve on the front lines. The concept of range justice adds a new layer to the series. Montana may look picturesque, but under the surface, violence simmers, and Casey is at the center of it. He's not just chasing criminals, he's confronting moral dilemmas, witnessing human cruelty, and making choices that blur the line between right and wrong. Each mission tests his resolve, his loyalty to the law, and his sense of personal ethics. The audience is constantly on edge, never knowing when a seemingly straightforward operation might spiral into chaos. This unpredictability makes every episode tense and emotionally charged. The action sequences in Why Marshals are designed to reflect realism and intensity. Unlike traditional TV shootouts, these scenes carry weight. They show the physical and mental strain on Casey and his team. Every gunfight, tactical entry, and high-speed pursuit is grounded in strategy and consequence. The show emphasizes that violence is never glamorous. It comes with trauma, loss, and moral compromise. Viewers get a sense of the psychological pressure that comes with being the last line of defense in a region constantly threatened by criminal forces. But it's not just the external danger that shapes the narrative, it's the internal battles. Casey's dual identity as a cowboy and a Navy SEAL resurfaces in every episode. On one hand, he carries the rugged, independent mindset of a Montana rancher. On the other, he has the discipline, precision, and emotional scars of military service. This duality creates constant tension, forcing Casey to balance instinct with protocol, emotion with strategy. The series thrives on these internal conflicts, making the suspense not just about what happens next, but about what will Casey do when he's pushed to his limits.